Yo! Right. Cool stuff for today. AI. Like cool enemies that don't just go back and forth or whatever. Let me show you. And before you tell me, I know there's behaviors that do something like this, but if you can do this stuff yourself, in case, a behavior breaks or an extension or whatever it is, and then you gotta wait for somebody else to fix it, no, just learn to do this stuff by yourself. So, see the green jellies? Those are the ones I'm going to teach you. See? Just idling around. They're random. They do stuff by themselves. And if they see you, they chase you. They can't go past that point because I made a barrier for them. But other than that, they'll chase you around. They ended up in unison. Okay. It's because we stacked them up against the barrier. So they ended up like being in unison. But see, then they became random again. And if they see you, you come chasing. If they don't see you, they stop and they're like, where'd you go? And then you go in the middle again and they're like, oh my god, there he is. Get him. I love this kind of stuff. Right? This is the first stuff that I did when I was doing GDevelop. Oops. I really gotta change that. Oh, there was one more. Where were you? Didn't see you. There we go. So I'm gonna teach that stuff. So what do you need to copy the screen? So I made it very. I've made a lot of contrast, so you can more easily pick apart. It starts here where it says green jelly and downwards. So this way, if you're like, I have no idea what you're saying, I just need something, then just copy this. Right, starts there, and then it does all this. I'm gonna go through it, but for now, I think that's everything open. I broke it into parts, so you can just copy part by part. This is open, yeah, this is open. These are like animations and sounds, right? These are the sounds. This is how I do the sound things. And it ends here. Now, you might think, dude, that's so much. Well, if you want nice things, you need to work for them. And this isn't that much. It's a lot of moving parts, right? It's the sounds, the animations, it's all that stuff. And it's optimized so that only certain things happen when they're on. Where's my mouse? God damn it. Here. Like, this only happens when it's on screen, right? It's only animated when it's on screen. It only makes sounds when it's on screen. That kind of stuff. So I did the performance for you. Okay. So just start here where it says green jelly. Start copying little by little. And then you're done. And then you can just copy paste this and give it your own name. Just change green jelly, like anywhere that mentions the object green jelly, just change it for your own object, your own enemy. So, anyways, before we do this, what are you going to need? You're going to need an enemy, and you're going to give it the. Right, we're doing this guy. We're doing green jelly. Your enemy, whatever. You can find this one on the internet if you want. I think it's on Craft Picks, something like that. I forget. Anyways, he has health, which every enemy needs. Idle tracker, I need to remove this because I never use this. You're gonna need ease on screen. or in on screen. Uh, Add this to your enemy. This is important for performance. I think. I don't know anymore. I don't know what's good for performance anymore. It's like I do all this stuff. Pathfinding, you don't need this. This is for me testing stuff. And then you're going to need platformer object. So give him health, give him in on screen, and give him the platformer behavior. And don't forget, oh, and tween if you want to do knockbacks. But um, yeah, platform object. Don't forget to tick this off. Default controls, because if you have this on and you use the default controls that come with the platformer, like your arrow keys, then you're gonna move the enemies at the same time you move your character. So just take this off before you do anything else. So platformer, in on screen, and tween if you want to do knockbacks, and obviously health, right? Because health is just awesome. Is that it? Yeah. You don't need to do any variables on the character or on your enemy. All the variables you're gonna create on the event sheet. Like you could just copy paste the event sheet and it will work, even if you never made these variables. Because object variables, you can just create them here and they'll auto create on your character. It'll be fine. Trust me. Anyways, so where do you start? And what is this all about? And again, this looks massive because I made it like with contrast, with the markers. If you remove all this stuff, it becomes a lot smaller. So the premise of this, right, is you have two main timers and you have this sort of state machine. What's a state machine? A state machine is basically just a filter. Basically, when something is zero, you do this, and then goes from zero to one. And when it's one, it does something else, and then moves to two. And when it's two, it does something else. That's what a state machine is. It's basically a filter, right? And then you have two timers that make you go between the two states. So where does it all start? Starts right here, where it says if the variable state, it doesn't matter what you call the variables. I'm just going to get that out of the way so I don't repeat myself. The variable names are up to you. This is just something so I can make sense of stuff in my head. So, the variable state of green jelly, your character, your enemy, equals 0. If you don't create a variable, an object variable, and you put this here, it will instantly assume that this is 0. It doesn't exist. It's going to check, does this variable exist? I don't know, but it's a 0 because it doesn't exist. So even if you don't make the variable, it's going to auto assume this is a 0. So it starts here. So the moment it starts, it's going to delete one of our two timers. One of the timers is a timer that's going to make him attack you and chase you. And the other one is the one that's going to make him idle. So we're going to start by deleting the attack timer of green jelly. These timers are object timers. Variables, they're object variables. It's all object stuff. So delete the attack timer of green jelly from memory. This is important. Number 1. Second, we're going to start or reset the timer idle of green jelly. So another object timer. And then we're going to put the object variable idle of green jelly to 1. And we're going to send the state of green jelly, the object variable, to 1 as well. So we started on 0. We did this, and then we passed it on to 1. So this is an alternative to using trigger ones, because trigger ones will trip you and will break stuff. When you're using multiple enemies doing the same stuff with each other, don't use trigger ones. They'll break stuff. So state machines are great. So you start on 0, we do this, we change to 1. When it's 1, then the timer starts rolling. So the timer idle now is rolling, right? We just started it. of green jelly if it's bigger or equal to 1 second. And I'm going to change this right away. So to make him more lifelike, this is where we're going to add, call it, just type random in range. And then let's go from 1 to 1.5 seconds. Maybe 2? No, 1.5, just to make it different, right? So if it's bigger or equal, and then it's going to generate a number between 1 and 1.5 seconds, then it resets the timer. First things first, the timer always first. Resets the idle timer, this one. And it's going to change the variable idle of green jelly, and again, random in range between 1 and 3. Now we move on. So the state of green jelly, we passed it on to 1, right? Right here. So when his state is number 1, not only is the timer running and generating this every 1 to 1.5 seconds, is it 1, 2, or 3? He's going to do this. So if the value of idle ended up as 1, we're going to stop the green jelly, which is remove all the forces. He just stops. Then remember, this is always running. So he rolls again. Now, if it's 2, we're going to add to the green jelly an instant force. That's the word. Of 125. You can put whatever it is you want here. Like how fast you want the guy to go. 0y, because otherwise he's going to start flying. So if you want him to go like back and forward, move like side to side, you put 125 or whatever it is, but on the x-axis, right? And flip, no. Because remember, positive forces means going this way, right? So usually sprites are starting to face this way, so you don't want to flip it yet. If it's number 3, then we do the opposite. We apply a minus force, which means he's going this way. It's going left. So plus goes right, minus goes left. And since usually sprites are facing that way, we're going to flip it, right? So flipping, yes. So going right, we flip no. Going left, we flip yes. Right. So where's the animations? The animations are here. So we add a condition. If the green jelly, your enemy, is on screen. So if it's outside of the screen, it's not going to animate. If it's within the screen, within 50 pixels of the screen, then it's going to check, is he moving? Right? Is the overall forces of green jelly greater than 10? You could put, greater than 1, whatever, right? If he's actually got some sort of force in him, then you're going to change it to the moving animation. You don't need to flip it because we're flipping it here, right? So you just need to make sure that it's the moving animation. If the forcers are less than 10, or you can make it 0. Wait, sorry, I'm putting in the wrong thing. If it's less or equal to 10, actually, you can just make this 0, right? It says equal to 0. So if he's standing still, then we change the animation to idle. And let's make this like if it's greater than 1, I guess, or greater than 0, right? So if it's greater than 0, if has got any sort of movement whatsoever, he's going to do that. If it's 0, then it's going to do that. It was 10 because I was experimenting with stuff. This is sounds. We don't want this yet. Right. So is animated if he's on screen and he's doing his idle stuff, right? We started, we deleted the action, we started the idle timer, we changed the idle to 1, meaning he's standing still, right? Because he starts idling. And then we change the state to do this, right? Actually, we should do this the other way around. No, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, so when does he begin chasing you? He starts chasing you up here. You make the condition again. Your enemy is on screen, meaning like if he's not on screen, you don't need to like constantly check this because this is like a constant check. Like something's always happening. He's constantly casting a ray. So for performance sake, we turn this off when he's not on screen. I think this helps. I don't know. No one's confirmed nor denied. I keep testing stuff, but it's like sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. FPS makes no sense. Performance makes no sense to me. Anyways, you do the action raycast. First you check if your enemy is on screen, and then you do 2 raycasts. This one is you raycast green. Oh yeah, from the center of your character. You should know how to do this, or whatever it is the point is, like the best point for the ray to come from. Because let me show you. Maybe this is basic, but for the people who don't know. Right, so this is the wrong one. So raycast. You tell it to cast a ray, let's say from the center of the character at 0 degrees. So let's say the center is here. And you say cast the ray at 0 degrees. 0 degrees is like this. It's here. So he's going to cast a ray, and the ray is always going to be here. He's always going to check with a ray here. If you say cast at 180, he's going to cast backwards. And it also depends on your animation. But anyways, here's the caveat. If you just type in center and you don't know where the center of your character is, then it might not work for you. Because, for instance, these sprites have a huge thing, right? A huge square. It's because the animation, there's some animation where it jumps and stuff, so the artist made it like this. The point is, when you import this to GDevelop, the default center is the center of this square. So the center would be somewhere here. So if I didn't move the center point, I'll be saying cast the ray from here. So you'd shoot the ray from here. If it was 0 and 180 backwards, right? So if my character was in front of the jelly, it would do nothing, right? Because the ray was casting from here, and the ray is this tiny line. It's a very slim line. It's not like a big laser beam, right? It's a tiny, slim line that goes from the point you tell it to from, right? So you got to be careful. And if you just tell it, oh, just don't use center, use X and Y. The default X and Y is here in the corner of the square. So again, if your character's down here and the line is shooting from there, it's going to do nothing, right? I had no idea what points were when I started messing around with GDevelop. And I was wondering, like, what the hell is this not working? And then I learned about pointers, like, oh, that's why. So what do? It's simple. You go into your character, you click edit points, you go to your center, so you have your origin. When you hover over it, it becomes blue. So my origin, I put it down here for reasons. And my center, as you can tell, it's actually in the center, well, kinda, of the enemy. So it's down here. So instead of being up here as default, I brought it all the way to the actual center of the sprite, right? So be sure to do that if you use big sprites or, big squares like this. I don't know why the guy did it like this. Not gonna question. I like the sprite. I actually don't know the name of the guy who did it. Anyways, so we cast a ray from whatever point you choose to use. I'm doing it from the center. So green jelly center X, green jelly center Y. And these are like his eyes, right? At an angle of 0. And remember, 0 is forward. Down here, 180 is backwards. And this is like his eyes. He's constantly looking or listening, right? At the max distance, you put whatever distance you want him to spot you. I put 350 because that seems okay. I need to increase that. Like, make it bigger if you want him to start chasing you a lot sooner. Or make it smaller if you want to be closer for him to start chasing you. And it's going to target test against your player character. In this case, Marie. That's my player. So you just put your character there. Oh, God. There we go. Right, so you do it for both sides, right? You do it exactly the same way. One at 0 degrees and one at 180. That way, you got one line going for the front, one line going for the for the back. Now, if you're actually spotted by him, like you're in collision with the ray, you're gonna delete the idle timer. This is important. Very first thing you do is delete the timer, the idle, and then you're gonna start the action. Again, these are object timers. So we delete the object timer idle from green jelly, and we start the object timer attack of green jelly. And then this is the 0 degrees, so this is going forward, right? So we add a force of 175 or whatever it is you want. I want him to go a bit faster than the idle, like he saw you, so he's running at you now. So this is the force going forward because it's 0 degrees, right? So the 0 degrees goes like this. 175 on the X, 0 on the Y. So you don't want him to like lift off and fly. And change it. This is when I was doing stuff. We don't need to change that. And flip, no, right? Because we're going the right way, so we don't need to flip. If it's backwards, like if you're behind him, like if he's here and he's shooting a ray at 180, like this one, and he catches you here, then again, it's the same thing. We delete the idle one, and we start the attack one again. And we add a force, this time backwards, right? Minus 175. So minus, it goes like this. We don't need to do the animation because we're doing it on the bottom. That was a recent change. And we flip yes, because usually when you go backwards in this direction, we flip the sprite. Because usually that's how the sprites are, right? They're right facing. So we got the attack timer running, and we deleted the idle one. So for as long as the attack timer of green jelly is less than 0.2 seconds, we change the state of green jelly to number 2. Now you might ask, I didn't see a number 2 state. Where's the number 2 state? There isn't. And that's the point. Number 2 state is empty. So it stops doing this stuff down here. This stuff. That's the whole point, is just it stops doing this. It filters this out. And now it's giving priority to this stuff here. Right? Because we changed the state, which again is an object variable of green jelly. I just call it state. Now, if you move away, If you move further away than 350, then it's going to stop resetting the timer attack, right? So now the timer attack is going to roll on beyond 0. It's going to go 0, 0.1, 0.2. And the moment it hits that, we're going to change the state to 0. And I'm playing a debug sound, so I know that this is happening. You don't need to do this. Delete this. So the moment this ticks over 0.2, we change the state back to 0. And once it's 0, we restart all over again. So we begin the loop. It's 0. Remember at the beginning, we deleted this one. So now we delete the attack timer, right? He's no longer chasing you. He stopped chasing you. So we're going to delete this timer, and we're going to start the idle timer. And we're going to set idle to 1, so he's going to stop, and he's going to stand still and wiggle. And then we're going to change the state from 1, from doing this. No, we're going to change from 0 to 1. That's what I meant. I know stuff. Right? And then we go back to here. So it's a big loop. You start at 0. You do this, change to 1. You're at 1. You're doing this. You got spotted by your enemy. We change the timers, and with the timer running, we change to 2, which means nothing. Just means don't do this stuff down here. You kill the enemy, or you run away from the enemy. The timer keeps on ticking and runs it back to 0. Here, right? Right. It goes beyond 0.2, changes to 0, and we go back to the start. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Right. So you got the animations down here, and we also got the sounds. Like the sounds I already explained in a different video, but I will show you again. Oh yeah, just before I forget. So one more thing you're gonna need, if you don't want them to like run away, right? Make these 2 conditions. If the green jelly is in collision with whatever object you want, I call it go left and go right. I'll show you. Then you do the action separate 2 objects, which means it's going to do this. It's going to move the green jelly away from go left. And it's the green jelly that's going to move. Go left is going to stay where it is. This is the action. It's called separate 2 objects. It's an action. You put it like this. Oh wait, I'm not showing it properly. How do you spell it again? Separate? Yeah, separate objects. Here we go. You do separate objects, and the object green jelly from the object go left. You put your enemy first, and then the block that's stopping him from moving second. Okay. And that's just this thing. Where is it? It's this stuff. Right. This is just an arrow from the shop. It's a free asset. I just like using the arrow because it's nice visually, right? You can just look at it. And so when they hit this, they're not going to be able to go past because this pushes them back. And then I have another one here so they don't fall in the lava. See, and I have these all over the place. So this is how you make a character that you can just copy paste, right? You make things like this, like, oh, you can't go past this. You give him a little AI, and that's it. And then you can just copy paste. Right, there you go. There's one there and one there. That means he can't go past this. I don't make him go all the way because he's a platformer object, right? So if he gets here, he's going to fall down. Well, I don't think he's going to fall because he's so fat. Let's have a look. I don't think he falls because he's just that fat. And you might also be thinking, why platformer? Why not just do it non-platformer? And it's because platformer, more fun. Let's have a look. Yo, you cool? See, the moment we got away, it does the doo. Oh yeah, he's so fat. It's your mama joke. Man, your jelly's so fat, it won't fall down the stairs. Right, see, he gets there and he stops. See, he was trying to like go past it and couldn't. And that those sounds is him like he just saw me and I moved away, so he does the tling. See, he's seeing me, and then because he's got tunnel vision, the moment I jump, he stops seeing me and he goes back to zero. See, he stops instantly, and he just goes, I'm gonna go back to my business. Right. So what else is there? Oh yeah, it was the sounds. Sounds. I already showed this before, but I'll show it again. So this is if it's moving. Here we go. This is the sounds. So again, not sure if this helps for performance, but whatever. At this point, I don't care. And you don't. I don't think you need this. I just copy pasted this. That's why it has this again. But you don't need this because this is already under repeat for all enemies, right? Yes. It's right at the beginning. Repeat for all enemies. So you don't need to keep adding this. I'll remove this afterwards. This was just why did I do it like this? Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I copy pasted this. So I didn't fix it. Just put these two under there. Actually, I'll do it right now. Wait. When you're multi-selecting, do it in the order that you actually want it to go in. So we're gonna cut and my eyes are still really bad. So then we're gonna put it here. And delete. There we go. Simple as pie. Eating, not the numbers. Right, so same thing. If green jelly's on screen, I don't care at this point if it helps with performance or not. It does in my mind now. It's canon in my head. I don't care what people say. Right, and if the animation is moving, it's gonna check the frame. In this case, I'm using frame number 2. Usually, you wanna space out your steps. Like for instance, if you have 8 frames, you put frame number 0 because the frames start at number 0. So you put number 0 and number 4, right? So you have an even tuck, 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 tuck. I have it as number 4 and number 2 and number 4 because it's a jelly, right? He's squishing, right? He's going. That's why this kind of sound. And this is a cool way of making sounds as well. Because you can make it even like, or you can put them more together and now it sounds more kind of like a horse. So if you have like a horse sprite that goes, then you make it that way, right? You put like 2 numbers that are close to each other. So yeah. So if the animation is moving, or whatever it is you call your moving animation, you check the frame of the animation. You just type in frame. This will pop up the condition of green jelly if it equals whatever it is you want. And if the variable jelly walking of green jelly equals 0. This is again another kind of state machine thing. Just put this here and it will work. You don't need to create these variables. Just copy paste this. What this means is we're going to start at 0 and it's going to stop this from happening multiple times. So you call it 0, the game's going to check, does this exist? I don't know, but it sure is 0 because it doesn't exist, right? So it's going to assume that this is 0 and it's going to, the first thing you're going to do is change it to 1 the moment it happens. That way, this only happens once. Then you're going to play the sound you want. I create a little puff of smoke on the point I made on the character. If you just copy paste this and you don't have this point, this is not going to work. So you need to create the point where I showed you the points thing. We're going to change the angle because particle emitters usually start at 0 degrees. So they start shooting this way, right? So if you made the puff of smoke go up, you want to change it by either 270 or minus 90. That will make it like shoot upwards. And then we wait 0.2 seconds because we're giving it a little time for this to change frames. And then we change this variable back to 0. So that way, when he was on frame number 2, we changed this to 1, so this only does 1 time. And then we gave it a little time for this to go from frame number 2 to frame number 3. Because the moment it changed to number 3, this no longer meets the conditions, so this no longer happens. If it's complicated, I'm sorry. Just copy paste this. And then we do it again. If the animation is still moving, and if the frame now is number 4, now we give it a different number. We do the exact same variable thing, like if it's 0, put it to 1, wait a little time, put it to 0. But we're going to distinguish this one from this one. So this one's like doesn't have a number, you put a 2 at the end of this one, right? So it has a 2 at the end of that one and 2. And then you play the sound. I don't do the puff of smoke on this one because again, it's a jelly, right? He's squishing, so he's only doing the smoke thing once. But if you have a character that's like stepping on the floor, then you do the puff of smoke twice, right? And that's it. And then it just repeats. Because it goes back to 2 and yada yada yada. And so on. And that was it. I mean, other than this, the sounds, which I know it's still a bit messy to explain. This should be solid. Like this AI, you could just copy paste this. It will not hurt your performance. It will work as intended. And it'll be fun. Right? Because you no longer have like back and forward enemies that just go back and forward. And you can make this even more fun. Right? Because now you got a platformer character. So, just for giggles, what did I close? God damn it. If this is your first video that you're watching, I'm blind. I keep saying that on every video. But I am legally blind. So seeing stuff is very... That was the one I closed. Anyways, for giggles. And this is why platformer behavior is so good. Let's make it... Okay, let's make another one. I need to start deleting these because these apparently impact your performance like crazy. So, let's see if this works. If we can one-shot this. Collision. Collision. So you're going to check for collision of object. We're going to call it green jelly. Green jelly. Against the object, go left, go right. Let's call it go right. And okay. And collision with go right. That's the wrong one. It's the go left that I want. Go left. Go left. I'm thinking go left was on the left, but no, go left is on the right. I know. Don't mind. Anyways, go left. And we're gonna simulate simulate control. Object. Green jelly. I think this is how you do it. Wait, the behavior is not attached? Yes, it is. Oh, this is the wrong one, right? Yeah, this is top down. Where's the platformer? Platformer. There we go. Simulate control, platform behavior. Forgot that. Green jelly. We have it. And jump. And okay. So now, let's see if it works. It's gonna look dorky because the jellies don't have a jumping animation, so it's gonna look very square. Alright. Come chase me, dudes. Are you gonna move here? Come on. Oh, it was a 50-50 chance. Oh, he's coming? He's not. Come on. He's coming? He's not. Dude! You're messing with my heart. Come on. Are you messing with me? Come on. Come. Okay. Okay. I see how it is. Come on. Come here. See? There we go. Then there's no triggers here, right? Oh, there's another one here. Like, oh, why are you not going to the right place? Come on. I want to see you jump forward. One more? There we go. Where did he stop? Why was he stop? Why did he stop here in the middle of the air? Hello? Chase me? Yeah. Why was he stopping here? There's nothing here. Oh, I know why. It's because we have the condition separate the two objects. But see, you can do cool stuff like this, right? And you can do what I do for the skeletons. I think it's... Not sure if it's activated. This one fell down. Oh! I think it's because I didn't put it for a repeat for each enemy. Was it not under the thing? Wait, I need to check this. Okay, one of you. Come here. I didn't see it. Okay. Oh, and I didn't see it again. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, come here. Okay, so the one at the top. Are you gonna jump? He ran off screen. Okay, you chase me. I'm sorry, if you already saw it. Yeah, that's... I'm not kidding when I say I'm blind. Okay, so no, only that one jumped. So... What are you doing down here? Why did you fall down? Oh, I know. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's working as intended. Like, yeah, this is the go right. So he got here, he went all the way here, and then he got here, and he jumped. And he jumped down. It's working properly. Anyways, this is what I do with the skellies. with the cast array. Get away! Oh my god, you're ruining it. God, come here. All right. See, it's so cool, right? Right. Oh, when I did this, I spent like the afternoon like making them jump. Right, so you can do cool stuff like that with the platformer thing, right? So how do I do the jelly thing, the skeleton thing? It's the same exact stuff. What is it? Odd ends. In collision, Z order, enemies. Oh, enemy knockback and stuff. Uh, repeat for each instance. I don't think you need this, the repeat. But whatever. So I got it like this because if you do like because this depends on where your sprite is facing. So I suppose I could only do one, but basically this is just making them look in one direction. It's literally the same thing as with the jellies chasing you, except, excuse me, you're checking not the player but the fireball. And if the fireball is within 100 pixels, so like next to them, if you make it too close, it won't give them enough time to jump over. So you got to be lenient with this. And if it is, you're gonna simulate the jump button, and that's it. Ta-da! And then the knockback is this. You can just copy this, honestly. There isn't a whole like I have trigger ones here, so that way if you spam the knockback, uh, it won't be as bad. But yeah, so what this means is if they're facing towards you, if their backs are turned on you, you won't knock them back. They need to be facing towards you. And then they get hit with the fireball, or this is the thing that the fireball creates when it blows up. I call it the fire impact. Then you just tween them back. Simple as that. You give the tween behavior to your enemies, and when you get collided with, you just tween a little bit backwards. So your enemy's center plus 50 to go this away, or minus 50 to go that away. Yeah, I'm not explaining this very well because this wasn't part of the plan. Right? Today was the AI. And the cool stuff you can do with the AI. So you could build on this. You can build on this as much as you want. You can do all sorts of stuff like if they get against a wall, then they jump. Right? So now I need to rethink the whole wall thing because I call my walls different things. So I can't just show you like that. But you could just create a little object. So let's do. Oh, this was repeating for every enemy, anyways. All right, it doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, you get the point, right? This is enough of an example. And I think that was all of it. Yeah. Oh, and obviously you check at the start. I didn't mention this, but you make a check at the very start if the enemy is alive or not. That way it doesn't run this as many times, right? It's gonna first check, is he dead or is he alive? Where's the dead part? There you go. So only the alive part needs to be repeated for every enemy. If I didn't mention this at the start and you're not watching anymore, I'm really sorry. But this is very important. This right here. You need to repeat the whole thing. Hopefully, I showed you at the start and you notice it and you went, oh, okay. So, this whole thing has to be repeated for every single one of your enemies. The specific one. In this case, the green jelly. Because this is the spice of life. If you don't add this, if you're one of those like, oh, that makes too much bad performance, whatever. What this does is they're all going to move the same way. Because it's going to treat all of this as if it was just the one object. So when they spot you and you start running left, every green jelly is going to run left on the map. When they see you on the right, all of them are going to run to the right. I think the randomizer still works. So they still move randomly. Not too sure on that one. But this stuff definitely needs to be for each enemy. So if this was to be improved for performance, I would have to check exactly which ones of these don't need to be repeated. And I'm guessing you put the repeat here. Like checking this would be the only thing. You'd put the repeat for each object here, and then this under the repeat each object, and then this stuff could be on their own. I'm not too sure. Oh, this, I know, I think it needs to be repeated for each object as well. Because I think I tested this, and all the stuff that's like not on screen needs to be repeated. So all the stuff that's like this thing is not on screen, you need to repeat it. I think that's how it works. I've done some testings back and forward, especially with the performance thing, like trying to figure this out. And none of this matters, right? Repeating for each object 100% makes this stuff work the way I want it to. Does it make the performance tank? Who knows? Is it more intense? Probably. Does it break stuff? I don't know. Apparently, starting GDevelop breaks GDevelop. So, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I don't even know, like, at this point in the day, it's been good in the morning, then potato, then good for like 5 minutes, then potato all afternoon. I wonder what the performance is like right now. Is it going to be atrocious? We shall see. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Still atrocious. Why? I don't know. A little while ago, it was 61. Because I think. So, 10 ms is 61 FPS. Because I don't think it's like 10 ms, right? What they mean is like 1,000 ms, literally. So it's a second. And FPS, frames per second. So if it's at 10 ms, you get 61 frames per second. 10 ms or below. If it's a little over, it starts messing up with your frames. So I don't know. I don't know what this could be. I really don't know. I'm tired. I am tired of looking at performance because apparently, like, it could be all of this, could be all the markers, because apparently the markers. I'm not gonna start ranting about that. Whatever. I'm pissed. I'm gonna do it for the sake of trying it. I'm just gonna delete all of this stuff and then see how much it improves. But anyways, that was it for today. That was AI. Oh, and for whatever reason, if you're still watching and you're like, this is so much. How do I make more characters? Like this. Uh, I removed all of mine from here, right? Yeah. Yeah. Right. So I just need a little distinction there to copy paste stuff. You just copy and am I clicking? Yeah. Paste. Click on the thingy there in the corner, the magnifying glass. Then wording is very important when programming in GDevelop. Keep stuff the same. If all your enemies have the same um, animations, like as in the same names for the animations, as in if all your enemies, when they move, the animation is called moving. When they're hurt, if the animation is called hurt, and when they're idle, if the animation is called idle, then you're good. Just make all your enemies, all your characters have the same names for things, because then you can just do this. If I wanted to make a blue jelly, I would just put green jelly, green jelly, and then I'll replace every word, every green jelly word for the word blue jelly, because that's another one of my enemies. So I'm gonna click replace. And there you go. 25 results that was just changed from green to blue. Every single one. See? Blue jelly is dead. Blue jelly is not dead. Blue jelly is on the screen. And so on. And then we get down here. See the frames? The same thing. If the animation of blue jelly equals moving, if it was a different name, you'd break this. You'd have to come here manually and change this to something else. But it's the exact same as the green one. So everything is exactly the same as the green one. So all I have to do now is cut and paste, come back. That's the bounce. Blue jelly. So this is the old AI. This is the old stuff. This is old school. This is the what am I doing? This was the holy, I forgot how long it was. Jeez. This was the I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna keep patching it and patching it and patching it until he does what I want it to do. And it works. Actually, it's a bit more advanced than this one because this one actually gets angry and chases you. But whatever. And then we just paste it. And there you go. Now the blue jelly is gonna do exactly the same as the green one. Let's no, that's the one on top. I have no, that's also the green. There's a blue one. Copy. Oh yeah, just make sure you have all the same behaviors, all the same everything, all the same names. And we're gonna delete that one. And that one can stay. We're gonna delete that one. And I just deleted the light. Good job. And we put a blue one. And let's put the light back where it was. Maybe it's the lights. They're breaking your performance. It's not. I've deleted them all before. Made a macro, deleted everything, all the lights on the back, all the everythings, all the enemies actually at one point, and it did nothing. So as you can tell, there's a green jelly. You're making sounds, right? Yeah, you are. See? There's the blue and the green. They're happy together. All I just need to make is the red one, and it's a happy family. 61, 56. Nope, still potato. Why must you potato? I don't know. You just potato. Maybe it's Irish programming. Who knows? Anyways, that was it. That's all I got to show you for today. And I'm still going to do a little work. Not really sure what, but maybe some more testing or whatever. I'm going to clean this up and test it again and see how much the markers actually impact the performance. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. I don't really have a dev log for today because my log has been that. I just did single AI. Been testing and testing performance, and I just don't know. It means nothing. It means literally nothing. It's just like sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it kind of works, and then sometimes it don't again. What do? I can't do anything. Right. I'm out. Peace out. Catch you guys tomorrow.